Today is Friday, August 5th, 2022. It is also day 30 of SQL. And the case scenario today is we need new workers at the daycare I'm working in. One of my coworkers and I are in charge of interviewing potential hires. At the end of the interview process, we come up with a list of potential hires that we think would be a good fit for the daycare, but we can only pick 3 in total. So I decided that I would basically narrow down my list by filtering out those potential hires that we both have in common, and then 2, filtering out the reason for us wanting to hire those people, and that reason has to be something related to like problem solving skills. And so first thing, I'll create my first database. So create table, and I'll call it A, like database A. And then in the parentheses, I'm going to write my column. So the first one is the ID. It's going to be an integer data type, meaning it's going to be a number. I'm going to tell SQL that this is a primary key, so it's not just any column. And I'm going to say auto increments, so it automatically adds. An auto increment is only allowed in an integer primary key. Integer. Didn't spell that right. All right. So auto increment basically says, hey SQL, I want you to automatically add an ID for me. If I didn't have that, then I would have to manually add like an ID, like an identifier for each person that I put in my list. So like 1 and then the name and blah, blah, blah. Second column is the name. It's going to be a data type text, meaning it's going to be a string, right? A text. And then the last one is the reason. This is also going to be data type text. So the reason for me wanting to hire that person. So now to insert into my table A, I'm going to write the columns that I want to insert. So for me, that's going to be name and the text, because the ID is automatically added, so I don't have to add that. And then I'll put in values, and I'll just add the values that I want to add. So the name would be, I don't know, let's say like Vanessa. And then the reason would be, I don't know, she was, or she has an undergraduate degree in education, something like that. And now to see, what do you mean no column text? Oh, it's reason. Sorry. Reason, right? So in order to see the first, or in order to see my database, I'll select everything, which is the little asterisk, from A. So basically I'll select everything from table A, and I can see my list, right? And so I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this a few times. And I'm going to change something to like, I don't know, like Henry. You know how hard it is to come up with random names? Henry, Jake from State Farm, and I don't know, Lori, Larry, Lara. All right, so we have Vanessa, Henry, Jake, and Laura, and then let me change the reason. So maybe Henry has, what do I call it? He has great problem-solving skills. Solving skills. Maybe Laura also has great problem, or like, let's say like really good problem-solving skills. And maybe, let's say Jake was a really nice guy or something. So basically, this is my database. This is my list of potential hires that I am considering out of like all of the people that we hired, and then the reasoning why I want to hire them. So like Vanessa has an undergraduate degree in education, Henry has a great problem-solving skills, and Jake, he's a really nice guy, Lara, really good problem-solving skills. All right, so then I'm going to create the table B, which is the database or the list of potential hires that my coworker is considering to hire. So same thing, ID, which is going to be the identifier, which is, you know, this, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's data type integer, meaning it's going to be a number. Primary key, so SQL knows that it's not just any column, and it's going to auto increment, so it's automatically added. Name, which is going to be a text data type, and then we'll have the reason. It's going to be a text data type as well. All right. So I'll insert into table B the following columns. So I'll do name and reason, and then I'll insert the following values. And over here, let's say, I don't know, really, really bad at making names. What's a name that starts with a K? Let's do a random name generator. Well, that's loading. Maybe Olivia could be one, like Olivia. So like Olivia, what the? Why can't you just give me a random name? Why do I have to like Norwegian, Greek, whatever? I don't know. Can you just please give me like a name? Like it doesn't matter. Just give me a name. Hello? Jesus Christ. Okay. Olivia. Did I put last names? No, it's okay. Okay, so then the reason that maybe my coworker wants to hire Olivia is because she has she's certified in CPR. Maybe that's a reason. So now in order to see that table, I'll select everything from table B, and now I can see that. And I'll just go ahead and copy and paste just like I did before. Maybe, so the next one might be like Nari. I'm not sure if that's a girl name or a boy name, or it could be both. I don't know. So I'll just, I don't know. I won't put pronouns then. I'll just be like, they are, what's a good reason? Skills needed for a daycare job, daycare worker. Creative thinking. Okay, very creative thinking. They are very creative. All right, so that's one thing. Maybe, let's see, I want another name. Oh, Margarita, that's my grandma's name. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm gonna put my grandma's name. So Margarita. Maybe Margarita, she's, let's see, or I could just say, she is very creative, good at the arts. So that could be a really good thing. Analytical skills, organization skills. Let's see. Maybe my coworker is also interested in hiring Vanessa, and the reason she hired Vanessa, that she wants to hire Vanessa, is because, well, let's see, let me think. He has great problem-solving skills. Insert into name, reason, or maybe he wants to Henry because so like good problem-solving skills. All right, and then maybe he also, my coworker wants to hire Laura as well because Laura is really great at solving problems. All right. Okay, I think those are good things. So, okay, so now so far, here's an update. So I have my two databases. The one at the top is the list of my potential hires that I want to hire, right? The people that I want to hire that I'm thinking about hiring. And then the second database is the list of my coworkers, or it's my coworkers list with their potential hires. And so now we have to come together and agree upon which three of them we're hiring. So, you know what? Henry, Jake, Laura. I think I'm gonna put a few more in here. And I have Laura, Henry, and Jake. Well, what did I do? Oh yeah, Jake. All right, so I'll do Jake, and then Jake, he is certified in CPR, and then we'll do Vanessa, no. Henry, really good problem solving skills. really good problem solving skills. He's a great problem solving skills. So maybe I'll do one more. Actually, I'll do a few more, and I'll do maybe like Carla and then like Lisa. So I'll have those, and then let me think how I want to set this up. So all right, yeah, so I'm just gonna delete this one, and I think that's how I want it to be. So I think we're good. So now I'm gonna filter. So I basically want to first filter out like my database or narrow down my database to be to end up being like the potential hires that we both have in common. So I'll select everything, I guess. I'll select maybe the name instead from table B. Right, select everything. So I probably should move this over here. So this means I'll select all the names from table B, and then I'll go and filter mine. So it would be select the names from A, from my table, where inside the name is the following query over here. So I'll go ahead and just pop that there and put that in here also. So basically what I'm saying is select the names that we both have in common. So these are the names that we both have in common throughout our list or throughout our databases. And so we're both interested in hiring Henry, Jake, and Laura. Henry, Jake, and Laura. But here's the thing. We also, in the case scenario, we're interested in making sure that all the potential hires, like the reason that we want to hire them is due to having good problem solving skills. And so to kind of get an idea of how we can do this, I believe I would have to say, and, why is it not caps lock? Okay, and where, let's see if this works. So, and, or maybe it's just and, name, not name, reason is like, and then I put in like problem solving, something with like problem solving, and then I have to put in percent signs surrounding. And what that does, it basically goes through my database and tries to find the names of the people where they're both inside the database B, which is my coworkers database, and the reason for wanting to hire that person has something to do with problem solving. So if I wanted it to be exactly like problem solving, then I would put like the reason equal to, so that means exactly equal to problem solving. But if I put that, I'll notice that nothing happens because there is no name that says just, I'm sorry, no reason that just says problem solving, like exactly. Like there's always some other words like good problem solving skills. But if I use the like operator, that tries to find something that's related to these words. And then obviously I have to put in these percent signs in the beginning and at the end. So now I'm basically done. So at the end of the day, I have Henry and Laura. And they meet the conditions where number one, we're both interested, my coworker and I are both interested and have decided that we wanted to hire them. And the reason we want to hire them is because they have good problem solving skills. So you can clearly see that in the database itself. Henry shows up in my coworker's database and they show up in my database. I say that Henry has good problem solving skills, and my coworker also says Henry has good problem solving skills. And then Laura shows up over here. Laura is really good at solving problems, and over here, Laura is really good at solving problems. All right, but if we just left it like this, then we would have ended up with Henry, Jake, and Laura, because Jake shows up both in our databases. So this is database B and this is database A, which is my database. But here's the thing. In my database, the reasoning for me to want, what am I saying? To the reasoning that I wanted, or the reasoning that I had to want to hire him was because he was a really nice guy. But my coworker said, he is certified in CPR. So even if we do have them, like, we do have him in common and we want to hire them, the reasoning is not, it has nothing to do with problem solving, which is kind of what we want here. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm just trying to think if I could play around a little bit and see if what happens if we both have someone in common, but the reason, what if I said that he has really good problem solving skills? So let me copy this. Would Jake show up then? Where is it? Jake. He does. Interesting. So we both have Jake in common, and the reason it treats it as long as one of us, or actually, oh no, because it's considering me. So if I were to change, okay, let me explain my thoughts. So this is basically having to do with database B, my coworkers database. And so this makes a statement like, okay, the names that I have to pick or that have to be selected are the ones that are in both our data sets, or sorry, both our databases. But then this is something to do with my database. Like the reason in my database has to do with has to be something related to problem solving. So that's why if I change the reason in my database to have something to do with problem solving, that's why Jake shows up in the databases. But I bet you that if I change the reason in database B, which is my coworkers database, he still won't show up, right? Because it's only checking if the reason it has something to do with problem solving. So I can't even speak. Has something to do with problem solving in my database, not their database. And so I guess in order to fix that, I'll do and maybe where name or where reason in. Let's see if that works. Actually, hold on. I would probably have to do this like select name from B where reason is like that, and then get rid of that. Let's see. So interesting. That just selects the, what do you call it? The B stuff. Select name from A where name or inside name is all the names from B, but then it's supposed to be A over here. Select name from A. No, it's B. Oops. Select name from B where reason is like, which means it has something to do with problem solving, but I don't think that's like, do I want the condition to be where both of us think that they have something to do with problem, like both of us think that the reason we want to hire them is because of problem solving, or do at least one of us have to think that they have good problem solving skills? So Jake and Henry have good problem solving skills in B. So select name from B where reason like problem solving. And then I can select name from A where reason is like problem solving. So those are the names like Jake, Henry, Laura, Carla, Lisa. So those are both of them right there. And then I want it to be so that I can select the names from my table where the names show up, right, inside B, but also, is there such thing as and where? Where, I don't think so. Where, name, or like where reason and where reason inside is like problem solving. I don't think that does anything. Is there such thing, whoops, is there such thing as and where in SQL? Okay, is there a combination of like and where? Nope, it's not like and where. It's where. What did I say again? Where? Oh, it's and where. Of and how does that make sense? Okay. Um and where? Hmm. Huh. Near CT. I wonder. Oh, what? This is so weird. Did I do a comma? Okay, so I'm just gonna scrap this and start again because um you know what I could do? I can select I can select everything from and I can select the names from B where the reason is like and it has something to do with problem solving. So it's Jake and Henry, but then I can also select name from A where the reason is has something to do with problem solving. And then I can select name from A where reason like has something to do oops with problem solving and where inside name is all of the names that have to do with problem solving in here. Ugh, this sucks. Where name hmm. Where reason is like problem solving. And then I can select the names from A where reason it's like problem solving and oh, that's how I do it. And name or inside the name is also those problem solving. Oh, so that works. And Henry is both in our databases. But over here, Lara is really great at solving problems, but up here I said Lara has really good problem solving skills, so why doesn't Lara show up? What the heck? So I'm saying select name from B where reason has something to do with problem solving, and that should get me these names, so Jake and Henry. Solving problems. Ah, so maybe I should be a little bit better and just say something about problem. And then maybe that works better. Now Lara shows up. But then Jake is also a problem solving skill. But then Jake over here, I said, is a really nice guy, and that's why he doesn't show up. All right, so maybe I'm not going to scrap this. I mean, I guess this is what I wanted to kind of figure out. If, how I can make this, like, more, like, better. Okay, so I guess I figured it out. So that I can, it works the way I want it to. So both of us have to agree that they're good problem solvers. And by saying that they're good problem solvers, we're basically saying, well, wait. Well, no, yeah. So we don't even care about those who are not good problem solvers. So that kind of rules out everybody, even if we have them in common. But then it's only going to select the name if it appears in my database. So in this case, the only name would be Henry and Lara. So if it appears in my database, or actually, hold on, this would be the B one, right? So it would actually be Jake, Henry, and Lara. So what it's saying is if it appears in my database, Jake, Henry, and Lara, then select those names, right? But because Jake doesn't appear in my database, or at least it's not because it doesn't appear in my database, it's because the reasoning is not because of problem solving, then that's why Jake isn't being selected. All right, so I think that's good. So we both have Henry and Lara in common, and we both agree that they're good problem solving skills. All right, so I think that's it for today then. I think that's better because I noticed that when it didn't pick up Lara because it's solving problems, so it wasn't too specific, so I just ended up something with like problem. All right, bye.